Welcome to the Rise and Wander podcast, where we'll explore adventure, spirituality, and empowerment through the outdoors and beyond. Join me, Carla Amador, as we focus on topics around the mental, physical, spiritual, and emotional benefits derived through the outdoors. You'll also hear inspiring stories, get educated, and more. Let's get started. This season's podcast is sponsored by Oboz Footwear, based out of Bozeman, Montana. I proudly wear my Oboz footwear for hiking, traveling, and more. They have many styles and options to choose from for all your winter and hiking needs. Looking for hiking boots, recovery shoes, or fast and light hikers? Look no further and check them out at obozfootwear.com. Welcome to Rise and Wander Season 2. I'm your host, Carla Amador. This season is all about hiking Mount Kilimanjaro. If you're like me and you like adventure and travel and you like setting big goals for yourself, this may just be the podcast for you. So in 2023, I was thinking about what I wanted to accomplish in 2024. And I was really just thinking to myself, I think I'm ready to try one of the 7 summits. And if you're familiar with the 7 summits, they are the 7 tallest mountains in each of the continents. And so Mount Kilimanjaro is the tallest mountain in Africa. And actually, it's one of the most accessible and easiest to hike out of all of the 7 summits because it doesn't require technical experience. What does technical experience even mean, right? It means mountaineering experience. You need to have training on ice axe crampons, self arrest techniques. It requires a lot more effort, training, and classes. So, anyhow, I was thinking about it and I was like, you know what? I think I'd really like to do Mount Kilimanjaro. That would be a really big goal. And felt like it was a great year to set this goal to achieve in 2024. So, I ended up having a phone conversation with Adventure Tripper, and they actually are a company who puts together trips like Mount Kilimanjaro. And I was like, hey, why don't we put something together? Let's put it out to the community and see what happens. And lo and behold, 14 people signed up for this trip. And that was amazing because we trained together. We had a community of people supporting each other as we were getting ready for this trek. I'm going to talk a little bit more about that later on in the season, but I will say this. We met once a month via Zoom and we talked about training, and people got together before and met up before. And so it was just super awesome to be working on this together with community. And so, yeah, basically, we all attempted to work on this lifetime goal that many of us had. I remember in the beginning of the trip, when we all got there to Africa, we had a dinner on the first night, and I asked everyone, what's your intention? Like, why are you doing this? And some people were like, I'm doing a year of yes. I saw this come up, and I thought to myself, why not? People who have this as a lifetime goal of theirs, and they also felt, hey, what better way to do something that I'm interested in than going with a group of people. And so I think the underlying tone was that there was this opportunity to go do this life achievement goal with this community, and having that support was huge. And I will say that I truly believe I would not have made the summit without that community, without that support, without the people that were there. And I feel like many people would agree with that because there were so many different days that we were all struggling with different things. So, another thing that I told the group was, we're going to attempt to climb this mountain. It doesn't mean we're going to make it. The summit is the cherry on top. We really have to look at this as a journey to Africa, a journey of preparation, a journey of attempting something really big and powerful for ourselves. And that's how I started the introductory call that we had, because I know for me, I have had altitude sickness before when I've climbed high peaks or been at really high altitude, and I never know how my body's going to react. Whenever you're attempting to do something like this for yourself, when you have a goal like climbing Mount Kilimanjaro, it's always really great to just make it about the journey. And if you make it, great. And if you don't, that's okay. You can either try again, or you can say, hey, at least I tried that. At least I went for that. And I think that is what we should strive for. So, I'm going to give you a little bit of facts about Mount Kilimanjaro. It is in the country of Tanzania. It stands at 19,340 feet. Oh my goodness. And as I mentioned, it's one of the easiest of the seven summits. You are going to need to hire a porter and guide. We had a great company that we worked with through Adventure Tripper, and there are seven routes you can take up. Now, I'm going to tell you what route we chose. We chose the Macheme route, and I'll tell you a little bit more on why. But the seven routes you can take are the Macheme, the Lemosho, the Northern Circuit, Marangu, Rongwa, and Umbwe. Now, I may have said those wrong, but you get the gist. You can choose different routes. The reason why we chose the Macheme route was because it was the first camping route established to hike Mount Kilimanjaro. So the reason why we did that trek and we chose it was because it has the highest success rate because they have a system down. One of the biggest things you'll hear when you are on Mount Kilimanjaro is pole, which means take it easy, slow and steady, wins the race, so to speak. Take your time, don't rush up the mountain. That is going to help you to acclimatize so you are able to summit. So we actually did a 7-day trek from the bottom to the base camp. And then we had summit day. And then on the way down, I'll break down the days in future episodes. But I'm thankful that we chose that route. There's pros and cons, and you can look into each. And we'll talk a little bit more about that in future episodes. Also, Mount Kilimanjaro was an active volcano in the past and is now considered a dormant volcano. Obviously, it's played a huge role in African history as a navigational landmark and a spiritual symbol for the Tanzanian culture. I did get a chance to learn a little bit more about the local tribes while I was there. I was taught some of the medicines from the trees, and spiritual component of the outdoors of culture is so important to me. So I was really thankful to connect with the land, coming in with reverence and prayer and gratitude for that experience of being able to be on what I would call Mama Africa. I wanted to take a moment to thank this season's Rise and Wander podcast sponsor, REI. REI is the outdoor gear retailer of the 52 Hike Challenge. I've been a member since I started my 52 hikes in 2012, and they've helped outfit me for all things hiking and outdoors since then. Becoming a member has many perks like 10% back annually on eligible purchases, a satisfaction guarantee, which gives you up to a year to return any purchases you aren't satisfied with, free shipping in the US, and so much more. Please visit them at rei.com. Join me for a year of hiking in 2025 with the 52 Hike Challenge. Commit to your personal journey outdoors alongside a supportive community and make 2025 your year of hiking. Take your family, friends, furry pets on an adventure they'll always cherish. Plus, you'll gain the physical, mental, spiritual, and emotional benefits derived through nature and hiking. Learn more and sign up at www.52hikechallenge.com. And see you on the trails. It also is home to a variety of endemic species. And there are 5 different climate zones there. You start in the rainforest when we started in the Macheme route, and then you end in a glacial tundra. And for us, I think we all really truly enjoyed going through these different areas. And I remember one day where we hadn't seen the mountain, and all of a sudden we were at like camp, I think it was like 4 or 5, and we woke up in the morning and you could see this incredible view of the mountain, and we were just like blown away by how beautiful it was and the vistas and all the different elements that we were connecting with. And I will say that we had incredibly intense weather. So we chose to still go in climbing season, which we were hoping we'd have really good weather. But it turned out that we had 3, 4 days of rain, and that was a lot of wear on our gear. And also, we had snow on summit day. So there were things that happened that really humble you. And the mountain has its own weather patterns and it's out of our control, so to speak. So, my hope is that with this podcast in this season, I will be able to help you to prepare for all of those things. And so that you have awareness of what to expect. And we're going to really get into more details on training and gear and my experience with all of it. And I do hope that this helps you as you're thinking through your own goals. And I hope that by the time that we're done, you are inspired to go climb Mount Kilimanjaro. And I'll kind of get ready to wrap up by saying that I got to connect with the porters that helped us. We had a team of 52 for our crew of porters and between the guides, and that community really, they depend on tourism and they depend on people coming to climb Mount Kilimanjaro for their livelihood. And there are so many ways that a tourist can give back. We made sure to tip really well, and everyone was incredibly kind and wonderful. And I will never forget this experience. And as I was up at the summit, I was just overcome with so much emotion. I'm so thankful that I get to share this experience with you, my wisdom, and all the things I've learned in not only training my community to climb this peak. Out of the 14 of us, everyone attempted to summit, and 13 of us did. And I'm really happy that we all tried. And I'm really happy that we gave it our all and we were all tested in different ways, but really pushing ourselves to do something really hard that we have had a dream about. It really builds character and it really makes you realize that you can do so much more in your life. And that's why I'm so thankful to get to do the work at 52 Hike Challenge, because that was a huge foundational piece that, like, if I apply myself, if I set these goals and I work towards them, I can achieve so much more than I realize. And here is another goal achieved and attained, and I want to help others to do the same. So if I can do it, a woman of color, you can do it too. And it's going to take some dedication, it's going to take some preparation, it's going to take commitment to achieve this goal, but it is so worth it and you're worth it. And I am so thankful to you for being here with me. And please don't forget to share this podcast with your friends, subscribe to our channel, subscribe to the podcast wherever you're listening to us, leave us a comment, and I look forward to being of service. And I will see you in the next episode.